Hey y'all, my name is Kelsey McCamey, and today I'm going to be doing a lesson over the types of sentences. Today we're going to be learning to identify the four types of sentences, and we'll learn to tell the difference between the types of sentences, and we'll practice matching sentences to their correct type. And today I'm going to be using some resources and those are Kahoot, Nearpod, and Quizlet. I chose these because I feel like kids really like using interactive elements like throughout a lesson. That way they're not just sitting there listening, because obviously younger students probably get distracted really quickly, and this kind of helps keep their focus and attention and helps them to remember what they're learning long term. So that's why I chose those three. So there are four types of sentences that you can use in your writing. The first one is declarative, and this type of sentence ends with a period and it tells the reader something. So an example of that might be Mary has a cat. That's a sentence that ends with a period and it tells us something. Okay, so the next one we're talking about today is imperative. And this type of sentence gives a command or tells someone to do something. So, an example of that might be, give me that ball. Or if you're telling your dog to sit down, you're commanding your dog to do something. So, that would be an imperative sentence. All right, the third one we're talking about is exclamatory. This type of sentence shows great emotion and uses an exclamation point. And one thing that kind of helps me remember which one this is, or what type of sentence this is because the word is exclamatory. It reminds me of the word like exclaim. So if you're exclaiming something, you're using a lot of emotion, you're excited, and that just helps me remember, because obviously an exclamatory sentence ends in an exclamation point. So an example of an exclamatory sentence might be, this day is wonderful. And that ends with an exclamation point. And the fourth type of sentence we're looking at today is interrogative. This type of sentence asks a question and ends with a question mark. So an interrogative sentence asks a question, and an example of this kind of sentence might be, do you have a pencil? What's your favorite color? Like, it could be any question. That's an interrogative sentence. All right, so now I will give the students time to take a quiz just to test them on what we just learned and quickly refresh their memory. So they can just click on this link and it will take them to Kahoot, and then they would be able to play the game by themselves. Or honestly, if I was hosting a live class, I would like do the live version of this. So it just asks some questions like, what type states a fact? So that's declarative. Which sentence asks a question? Interrogative. Which sentence type gives a command? That would be imperative. Which sentence type shows strong feelings? Exclamatory. Which sentence type ends with a question mark? Interrogative. And then I'll be able to kind of see like where each student is at and if they actually are grasping what we're learning. Okay, so next I'm going to have the students label some sentences, and we'll do this together as a class, and then I'll give them an opportunity to do it on their own. So the first sentence is, how is the weather today? And this one ends with a question mark, so it is interrogative. And then go feed the fish. This one could kind of trick students a little bit because it ends with a period, and I feel like students would mostly get a declarative sentence and imperative sentences confused just because they can be kind of similar. But this one gives a command, so this one is an imperative sentence. She likes to read. This one, it's not giving a command, it's just telling us something. So this one is a declarative sentence. I love the water park. This one ends with an exclamation point and it's said with excitement. So this one is exclamatory. Then I'll give the students a chance to practice on their own. So for this one, they'll need a code. So they'll be able to copy and paste that. Just click on this link and it will take them to Nearpod. They can paste the code there and it'll take them to the lesson. And this one's actually a game, so it's like a little bit more fun for students. They can choose their character and then start the game. So the first question is, why are you sad? So this is where they're actually labeling the sentences. So this one would be a question, so interrogative. And I'm just going to do a few of these because there's actually there's 8 questions. Okay, and this one is, her name is Sally. So that's just telling us something. So that's declarative. And then, of course, the rest of them are just sentences that the students can label, and that will help them better understand and be able to practice on their own. So, I have this slide. It says the end, but it's not really the end because I really want the students to be able to review and practice this, not just let it go in one ear and out the other. So I'm going to provide them with something they can use on their own time to look back at this and study, because obviously we would eventually have a test over this, and I want them to remember long term. So I provided these Quizlet flashcards, which have the terms from today, so the 4 sentence types, and I also added some example sentences, that way they could practice labeling them. And they can use these flashcards or take like an example quiz, or like a practice quiz, or like play the match game. It just gives them plenty of resources to use to study on their own time. So that's the end of my lesson, and thank you so much for watching, and have a great rest of your day.